Yes, I'm aware my hair is very long, and yes, I'm aware I need a haircut. And please ignore me doing that, because I'm going to have to do it. So, the 21.5-inch iMac with a 1080p display. Why does it still exist? The 21.5-inch iMac that has a 1080p display still exists in 2020, and I don't really understand why. It's not like it's that much cheaper. It's €1,349, and for whatever reason it still has a 2.3 GHz dual core i5 7th generation processor. 7th. We're on 10. That's 3 generations behind, and it's only dual core. Then with that, it only comes with 8 gigs of RAM, a 1TB hard drive. I don't think it's even a fusion drive, I think it's just a hard drive. That's going to be insanely slow. Then the graphics are just Intel Iris Pro graphics. I think it's Intel Iris Pro 640, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that's, with a 1080p display, that is just, no. Not acceptable. Like, no. The next iMac up is around €200 up, and it gets 4K display, it gets quad-core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and the Radeon Pro 555X, and it gets up to 32 gigs support of RAM, of DDR4 RAM as well, at 2600 MHz, compared to the 1080p 21.5-inch, which is just RAM at 2133 MHz. It is really terrible value of a computer. Like, it would be okay if it was below 1,000, but it's not. Probably even then it's probably not really that great of a price value either. But it's still not under $1,000, so I don't understand why it's still here, especially when the new redesigned iMac has been rumoured to come out this year. Or at least to be announced this year and to launch early next year. It's really not gonna make any sense in 2020 or 2021, especially at that price point. So hopefully they're going to axe that computer, or at least give it a price cut and a couple of spec bumps, just to get it up to the more modern 2020-21 standards. But more likely they're going to cut it from the lineup. I get that it's there to be for a budget model iMac, but it's not budget when it's €1,350. And like I said, that new redesigned iMac is coming out at least early 2021. It's supposed to be announced this year. For the kind of price it is to have a spinning hard drive that is, I'm not sure if it's 52 or 7200 RPM. Maybe it does get a fusion drive, I don't know, it doesn't specify on Apple's store, website, whatever, but either way it's still slow as hell. And 1080p, oh, that's not great. I know that a lot of people don't even have 4K displays, but for the price you're paying for the computer, 1080p isn't great. Like, I wouldn't mind the 1080p if it had a little bit higher, if it had like more modern specs, or if they cut the price with the current specs that it has. Then it would make sense, but it just doesn't make sense. When that redesign one comes out, hopefully they'll axe it. Somehow get one of the old 4K, get the old design with the 4K display and newer specs and put that in its place. Something like that for a cheaper option. The fact that its processor is a dual core i5 and that it's 7th generation, 3 generations behind in 2020, like, that's insane. Like, I really, as you can tell, I really do not like this iMac. I really do not like this Mac at all. It's just mind-boggling. It just blows my mind that this thing still exists at the price that it is. That's the main thing I don't like about it, that price. Like, ugh. I really look crazy right now, but I don't care, because this really annoys me. 7th generation processors. Only up to 16 gigs of RAM configurable. Intel Iris Pro 640 graphics, a dual core i5 at 2.3 GHz. Like that's not good enough. If they want to sell those specs, they have to at least cut the price. Anybody that buys that iMac brand new is just, no, don't. It'd just be a silly purchase. When for 200 euros more, you can get the 4K one with much better CPU, much better, a higher RAM configuration that you can put it up to, much better graphics, and it still has a hard drive, but hopefully it's a better hard drive, or at least, even if it's the same, it has the other specs to back it up, along with the 4K display. So I'm just really looking forward to this new iMac design that's supposed to be coming out. So hopefully it comes out soon so this thing can just die. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the 1080p 21.5-inch iMac. I still just don't understand why it exists and why it hasn't just been killed yet. Why it hasn't been axed from the line. Anyway, as you can see, that got me really annoyed. So that's all I have to say about that. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share this video. And turn on the notification bell if you want to see more little small rants like this. Okay, bye. It's gonna be just a really stupid device. Oh, go away, Siri. Go away.